There's no sound. Oh, we're muted.
Is there anybody else?
Nobody online, but we need to have the record.
All the recording.
So what I would suggest is just verbally, quickly go back through the IMA meeting. And then-
Quickly,
Yes.
so for the recording,
My apologies, everyone online, for not unmuting the microphone.
okay, you're forgiven. So, then for the IMA, so we had a call to order, and we had, myself, Bill Simcoe, Chris Powers here from Albany, and Gary Nathan representing both Cohoes and Green Island. We've got, Tom
Houlihan.
Houlihan from, alternate from Rensselaer. We've got Andrew Golden, Troy, our vice president, Nolan from Waterfleet at the moment, and we've got Mark Siglione and Tom White from CDRPC. And reading and accepting the minutes, did we have pending, if there's no comments on the minutes, can I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make the motion.
Andrew,
I'll second.
Gary, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Then the appointments, no board action needed, but we have a new appointment of Andrew to be the mayor's designee for Troy. Election of officers, we have slate of officers, supposed to keep the same officers as had been previously determined in 2023. We actually had some changes with the officers, so we're supposed to keep the same slate. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Gary,
I'll second it.
Andrew, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Other business, we just mentioned we may need to update for a financial closing that's gonna happen for Albany in January. And motion to adjourn,
I'll make a motion.
Andrew, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
All right, impressive on the rerun there, Phil.
That's pretty good.
Okay, so now we're moving on to the corporation annual meeting. We have the same members as we just had for IMA, and the same appointment of Andrew for Troy. Election of officers. We have the same slate as had been carried from last year proposed. Do I have a motion to accept that slate?
I'll make a motion.
Gary,
I'll second it.
Andrew, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Then we're into the reading and acceptance, December 19, 2023 minutes. If people have any comments on the minutes, anything needed to be corrected? Everybody's name was spelled right.
Oh, missing Nora and Gary, but we've been missing Nora and Gary, so that's.
Oh,
Well, I blame your parents for that.
that's just a test. That's just a test. Spell checker probably always corrects it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, you're right there.
If there's no corrections, can I have a motion to accept the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
Gary, second.
I'll second it.
Andrew, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. So then we're into Tom White and the financial report for January 1.
We had, no change in cash, or receivables or payables. The only change is the submission of the invoices that were approved last month, bringing us to 3.8 million in, completed, long-term control plan projects. We had no other expenditures. That's 36.8%. With what's gonna happen today, that number will go to 48%. And the only other note is that on January 4th, we received the 1.625 million from Troy and paid it over to Albany the very next day, I believe. So the community balances change only for those two individual communities going forward. Any questions?
No, we've been working diligently with Tom to,
And Bill's been a lot of help to get through the details.
yeah.
Yeah, those EFC detailed reports are very helpful. So whenever you can get the call, that helps us a lot.
Yeah, so I guess that,
You weren't getting those before.
We were not getting.
Oh,
no, I
We were
think that
getting
was,
we were getting the totals, but not the detail of the actual payment.
we're getting the invoices of.
The holdbacks. and
Where the payments were applied.
Yeah, the holdbacks and the adjustments were always causing a bit of a difference.
So we're really gonna go through all of that, with each disbursement, there's a listing of the invoices that were paid. And, we need to get all of those so that Tom can look at them and make sure that we're reconciling between
What was paid, what's
QuickBooks
still open.
that he's keeping and payments that were made through EFC. And, so that we're trying to get into more real time, kind of a thing. So thank you, Tom. Any questions? And we could move on to vendor invoices, which are mostly all, Beaver Creek. I guess there's one correction. Maybe it's,
Yeah, back when, in doing the disbursements, information of number 7, it became apparent that we had an error in the amount of an invoice. The Digivair's mechanical number 18 for HVAC was listed and approved at 31,000. It should have been 33,000. So we've added that to this list, which approved that additional $2,000. Just to keep the record straight.
And it looks like there's a typo for Cahoes, because it's CHA is the vendor.
it should be, Arcadis,
Well,
or it should be,
JVC?
or a different project.
right. If I remember right, I think that is CHA. I forget.
I have to double check. but yeah.
CHA,
Well-
that's CHA for Bleat Street.
Right. If it's CHA,
So it's the project.
it's Mohawk Hudson Bike Path, SSS-12. If it is Columbia Street, SSS-10, then it's Arcadis.
Okay, I'll just sort of pull up the documentation and look at it.
So that, just needs to be. And I think, so we're trying to be right up to date with, what we're doing with Beaver Creek. We're getting to the last, which means when we get to the last 5 million, it all goes through Albany with the IMG grant, so we'll have to be chasing, for other people's certifications and pay applications. So I think that's gonna happen here in February. And of course, we got a March 1 consent order date anyway, so we need to be, get our substantial completion and get, Keller has a gigantic retainage, on, the $30 million of 5% is a lot
Yeah,
a lot of retainage, gonna get us right, right up there. So if we're 90-some% done, and you add in, if you're 90-some% done on the payments, but you're holding 5% out on retainage, are really a lot closer. So that's, do I have a motion to pay vendor invoices?
I'll make a motion.
Andrew, do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay. So you've kind of hit on some EFC coordination. We've been kind of focusing on the Beaver Creek disbursements, but we need to go back and look at the earlier projects, and I know Tom Powers and I have discussed from the Albany end, we need to go back and see what we had received and what we can still get, so we can get some money over to Cohoes and Troy for some projects that we've been sitting on some invoices for, so
Yeah, it's gonna have some numbers in.
so that is, we had a tranche that closed already. We have this next tranche, which we're paying Columbia and Lead Street out of. I know you're coming down to your final pay applications on some of that, so
Yeah, although we still haven't got them yet. It amazes me. We still don't have the
it's hard to get paid if you don't put in a,
pay request. I don't
I
understand
guess
it.
they,
It works.
I guess they're got flush with money or something, I don't know. So I think though, Andrew, with you and Greg, we need to sit down, maybe later this month, we could try to,
Hash all that stuff out.
I think there's some money, both of your financings that you could submit on right now. It's just really a matter of working with Paul Johnson,
To get those.
and asking for what's already dispersible. And I know there's still things that need to be worked out to satisfy the engineers at EFC to
Okay.
satisfy some of the disbursement requests, and some craziness with Carver about not being able to get a AIS cert for some wire mesh.
Yeah, from 2018 or something, and they weren't gonna provide it. You know, because Chris has been in contact with them, Greg's people have been in contact with them, and they're just, you know, they said pretty much, no, we're not gonna.
Yeah, so the last discussion was, can EFC just consider this to be de minimis? It's like, how much wire mesh do you have on?
Right, it's not, we didn't buy $200,000 worth of it, you know, I'm sure it was at a point where it was a minimal amount, so.
Yeah. So we'll see if we can,
Yeah, that's something we need to work on.
yeah, I think some of it was going back to see what had been dispersed, but I think on your one financing, nothing had been dispersed. So
Okay,
it's like, so that's pretty much for EFC. In terms of projects, now this afternoon is a quarterly meeting with DEC. So, you know, in terms of what's left, you know, I guess we'll be saying, hey, we're pretty much done. We're gonna be starting up Beaver Creek, so we're gonna get that, so we'll have to get that paperwork in, for March State, but
You have a date when you're gonna turn it on?
we have a March 1st date that we're gonna be running something. We're intending, at least for the March 1st date, to be able to use the screens. Our winter operation is screening only. Our
Right.
May 1st date is for being able to do the chlorination, dechlorination. So we're intending to get at least our winter screening operations going for that date. And
Are you gonna need like an incantation before you flip the switch?
what?
Incantation,
We're
some sort of, blessing, champagne bottle across the bow?
I don't know if we're allowed to do real alcohol, but we'll,
Sparkling cider then.
Yeah,
It's some sparkling grape juice or something and,
It's just the Albany water, right?
yeah,
I think,
Straight out of the
yeah.
I think we're momentarily gonna have our odor control running, which will, I didn't want to invite everybody over until we had the odor control running.
Okay. We appreciate it.
But other than that, in terms of talking with DEC, we've got two BMP projects, which are the Albany, two CSO regulators we're gonna eliminate. I guess we say Columbia and Lead Street are virtually done. I think we've
Yeah.
already sent in those notifications. It's more of just working out the dollar stuff.
right.
Van Buren Street,
Mhm.
we just say it's on schedule.
Right, which it is.
And Manor Avenue is just under engineering planning
Right.
grant. Um,
CHA is working on that currently.
and Little C is in the same circumstance.
Little C, we've already actually got the, engineering report submitted. And I haven't heard a word, nothing. That was submitted in September.
So that went to EFC. Did it go to DEC and EFC or?
Well, it turned out we had talked to Bonnie in December and she hadn't seen it. So we gave her a copy. So I don't know what the story is. I mean, we submitted it, it got uploaded. We even put in for a WQIP grant, which we haven't heard anything about. Well,
Yeah, I don't know why nobody's heard about WQIP. And nobody in Albany County's got any WIA money either.
right. Don't get it. Whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah. So in terms of tributary enhancements, there still was Cross Street, which I don't know, what would be an update? Is there some plan that we can get that indicates?
or Cross Street.
Yeah, is there,
There's been some talks, I don't know if there's been any plans written, they were thinking of relining at that portion of Campbell Ave down to there, so that's something they had talked about back and forth with.
maybe you wanna see if CDM can do some sort of preliminary engineers report that. can-
Okay, just some kind of memo or something that says here's with potential plans.
Yeah, so that, something's scoped out and,
Okay,
written up.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know, Andrew, if Troy was gonna try to do one more financing. I think you've got a listing
Mhm.
in the multi-year IUP. Because you didn't have, Manor Avenue in your, financing.
Okay,
I don't know if Chris was intending to even bother for just that project, but it,
yeah, I know not much about that, so I'll investigate.
I guess it's just up
Because
to,
you don't have to do the financing if you don't need to, right?
well, if you don't want to do the financing, I mean, it depends on whether you thought the value of it was worth the,
Okay,
because I don't know, it seems like Manor Avenue is gonna stay in its budget or.
Yeah, I mean, they're still under design, or they're still looking at it, but, I think it'll be at or under. what we
Okay.
got.
So I think Chris just wasn't thinking it was worth the effort, but
okay,
you might, have new people that think different.
okay,
And
I'll talk to those people. Yeah, see kind of what their thoughts are.
I mean, we've got that in this financing we're closing on,
Mhm.
and the financing we're closing on, it's got Bill and we have in it both, so it's like
Yeah,
a large amount of grant.
Mhm.
So it might still be worth it if you thought you get 75% grant
okay,
on the financing. And then the other thing we still have to do is the post-construction monitoring plan, which we really were saying is gonna be in 2025 now because we're
Mhm.
gonna We'll wait till we get to our first operating season. And other than that, we're done with the program. I think we're good with,
Hard to believe.
yeah, I think we're good with, what we're talking with DEC about is, so in terms of project updates, your projects are pretty done, and your project is gonna
Not
start.
started yet, yeah.
And Mark's gonna bring the champagne to the Beaver Creek project.
Mhm. Can't wait.
And Joe Coffey says he's gonna give all the substantial completion notices to leave Engstrom because he was busting his chops about getting this long-term control plan stuff taken care of.
He's good, yeah, okay. I know where he lives. You can deliver it in person.
Any other business? If not, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.